Right now on DC News Now at 9, a look at how a program in Arlington is working designed to better Arlington Police Department's policies and practices. Plus, we're taking a look at the smaller races in Frederick County this election season. And a shooting that left 8 injured near James Madison University is still under investigation. What we know about it. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I am Annalisa Gale. Temperatures are expected to start shifting to start your work week. Let's get right over to meteorologist Scott Sumner now. Scott, how's it looking tonight?
Well, tonight it's not too bad, Annalisa. As a matter of fact, what we do have this evening are rain showers, which are going to start the change here, and the gradual temperature decrease as we go throughout Monday and into Monday night. Tomorrow night is going to be a chilly one, especially out towards the west of the mountains. That is for sure. We'll get into that in just a moment, but let's take a look at what we have outside right now. Our window is, well, as you can see there, green, and you can see the radar scope. This is in around the D.C. region, but south of D.C., that's where you have the actual rain falling, or the ground clutters we like to call it here, is just off to the west of D.C. That is not actually reaching the ground. However, you even notice a little bit of lightning there, although most of this is a gentler type of stratiform type of rain. Occasionally, you'll hear a rumble or two of thunder or see a little lightning strike. That's, again, well south of D.C. And then, again, widening out even further, you can see Culpeper out towards the Harrisburg area and down towards Charlottesville. That's where you have the bulk of the actual rain and moderate and steady rain at most at this point in time. Now, as we take a look at the out-the-door forecast for your Monday, before we do that, let's take a look at the out-the-door forecast for your Monday. There we go. On October 17th, and so we will have cloudy skies and maybe an isolated lingering shower. Otherwise, temperatures will range between 45 and 55 degrees, and we'll have a southwest breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Again, quick look at the headlines. Showers tonight, breezy tomorrow, and turning much colder on Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll get out in the meat and potatoes of it coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Scott. Well, developing now, 2 Arlington police officers are on paid leave after shooting a man on Friday night. It happened in the Green Valley neighborhood. Tonight, DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg is getting an update on a program designed to provide more oversight within the police department. Daniel, how's it going?
Well, Annalisa, this program you're talking about is an oversight, citizen oversight program that will be overseeing Arlington County Police, along with an 11-agency program for a critical incident response team to investigate this all. Friday night, just after 7:30, Arlington County Police were called to the 2100 block of Shirlington Road for a report of shots fired.
I was shocked, right? As anyone would be when you hear of shootings and guns.
Officers heard shots as they arrived, and police say 44-year-old Elamine Muti of Waldorf refused to drop his gun. That's when one of the 2 officers on scene shot him.
We'll make sure when a citizen is shot or injured that, was the use of deadly force required.
Arlington NAACP President J.D. Spain is urging Arlington police to release body camera footage as soon as possible.
We're going to stay on top of it. Make no mistake about it, because people want to know. I know the folks in Green Valley, the citizens want to know. We want to know here at the NAACP, and hope that everything was done correctly.
Spain says oversight is important and is happy the Northern Virginia Critical Incident Response Team is investigating.
In a case like this, not only do we want the CERT team to be involved, we want our Community Oversight Board to look into this matter when it involves officer-related shootings.
Members to that oversight board were just appointed in March, charged with advising the county board on how to improve transparency and accountability in the Arlington County Police Department. Spain says they still have to go through a lot of training.
We're quite positive that when they're fully functional, all right, that it will be another means of checks and balances in our government.
Muti is charged with brandishing and felon in possession of a firearm. Additional charges are pending. In the studio, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Thanks, Daniel. Well, developing right now, the search is on for the person or persons who shot 8 young adults early this morning in Harrisonburg, Virginia, near James Madison University's campus. It happened just before 2:30 this morning, the 1500 block of Devon Lane. Police say multiple rounds were fired into a crowd at an outdoor gathering, injuring the 8 people between 18 and 27 years old. They are expected to be okay. Investigators are now trying to figure out if there were multiple shooters or just one. Harrisonburg is just about 2 hours from the district. As of now, police believe this was an isolated attack. And tomorrow, Governor Glenn Youngkin says he will announce a new public safety initiative as part of his administration's Violent Crimes Task Force. He'll be joined by other law enforcement agencies and local leaders from more than a dozen municipalities across Virginia. That announcement is expected at 2 p.m. in Norfolk. And developing in D.C., police have now identified a man shot and killed this morning in the 2500 block of Pomeroy Road in Southeast. They say 32-year-old Jamonte Brown was found dead just after midnight after neighbors heard the sound of gunshots. A $25,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest in that case. Right now, a D.C. firefighter is recovering from minor injuries caused by a blaze in the 500 block of Peabody Street Northwest. We're told it happened just before 6:30 p.m. this afternoon. That fire was coming from the second floor of that building that you're looking at there. When firefighters got there, the cause of the fire is still under investigation at this time. Well, coming up this week in Montgomery County, the deadline for applications for county residents interested in temporarily acting as planning board commissioners is Tuesday at 5 p.m. The county is looking for residents who have expertise in land use, planning, economic development, transportation, and environmental and park issues. The vacancies come after what County Council President Gabe Albornoz called a sheer volume of controversies. On October 12th, the county announced that they were accepting the resignations of Montgomery County Planning Board Chair Casey Anderson, the Vice Chair Partap Verma, and 2 commissioners. The council is scheduled to make their selections about the interim acting members on October 25th. Well, in just a few weeks, voters in Maryland are set to vote for a new governor along with other local races that could be neck and neck, and we don't want to forget about them. DC News Now's Michaela Newton is covering Frederick for us tonight. She has a look at the local races and the voting changes in Maryland.
Maryland's November 8th general election is weeks away.
This general election, at least for Frederick County, is highly important because it's going to determine the direction of our county for the next 4 to 8 years.
A few of the bigger races in Frederick County is a battle for county executive between Republican candidate Michael Huff and Democratic candidate Jessica Fitzwater. The county council at large seat is one of the most competitive races in Frederick County, with Republicans Tony Shimleck, Phil Dacey, and Democrats Renee Knapp and Brad W. Young battling it out. Voters can vote in person or by mail.
I personally like in person because I like the voting process. I like saying hi to the people that are working so diligently for us. I like seeing my ballot. Being counted. But also, I've talked to a lot of people who are doing mail-in voting.
One of them is Elizabeth Claygett, who says voting by mail is more convenient for her.
I changed to a mail-in ballot during the pandemic, and I have changed back. It's kind of convenient and fun. I'm a registered Democrat, but I don't always vote the ticket straight. So I look at the people who are running and hope for the best.
The last day to register to vote is October 18th, and voters have until November 1st to request a mail-in ballot. But if you've already requested a mail-in ballot, the Maryland State Board of Elections says that those mail-in ballots are now being sent out. For now, reporting in Frederick, Maryland, I'm Michaela Newton for DC News Now.
Well, ahead of the midterms, organizations across the country are kicking things into high gear to get the youngest voters to the polls. As Raquel Martin reports, a nonpartisan group named Headcount is staking out concerts and sporting events to get more people registered.
It may be open night for DC's hockey team, but these guys have another big game night in mind.
Are we all registered to vote?
With midterms less than a month away, they're making a full court press, determined to get young people registered and to the polls.
People are really excited excited and engaged.
22-year-old Ann Kiesling is hopeful the nation's youngest voters, Gen Z, will show up big this November.
People aren't feeling like their vote doesn't matter. They're feeling like they have a big responsibility and a big opportunity.
Right now, Headcount, the nonpartisan organization she works with, is registering voters at concerts and sporting events nationwide. Already, they've registered 175,000 people and counting, double their number from the last midterm cycle.
Really speaks to the excitement that exists.
Tom Bergen, Headcount's voter engagement manager, says voters under 30 could make a difference in key congressional races.
This could be a tipping point.
While Headcount isn't picking sides, political analyst Todd Belt says their work is particularly good for Democrats.
The 18 to 29-year-old voters really gave Joe Biden the White House.
But he says this cycle, those same voters aren't so fired up about President Biden's performance.
Back to being, the least enthusiastic and the least likely to vote.
But he says one issue could make the difference. After the Supreme Court took away the national right to an abortion, he says there's been a flood of new voter registration.
Will it be enough to turn the tide? Time will tell.
In Washington, Raquel Martin.
All right, good evening, everyone. A different story tonight than what we had last night. Last night we had a lot of clear skies, as you well know, and now we have green on the map, quite a bit of it, but it's splitting our viewing area in half. The northern half, north of I-66, is not seeing anything from Cumberland to Hagerstown, Frederick, Germantown, Cockeysville, Baltimore, right down to D.C. However, down towards Warrenton, Dale City, Fredericksburg, Culpeper, and points south of there, that's where you're seeing the rain showers. And a little wider perspective shows that rain extending from our backyard all the way down through the Carolinas, into Tennessee, into Kentucky, and even extending further south than that. But still, nonetheless, a good expanse of shower activity. Now, most of this is on the light side or stratiform rain, a pretty uniform and gentle type of rain. However, there is a little bit of thunder and lightning, as you see there, every once in a while. And that's what's keeping our temperatures in check. As a matter of fact, we would be seeing cooler numbers if we had clear skies out there right now. However, we're stuck in the 50s and 60s. Kaiser 59. However, Leesburg at 63 degrees and D.C. at 64 degrees. But tomorrow night, a whole different ball game. A lot of cold air is going to be in place. Freeze watches and warnings for Monday night. We'll get down to some lower temperatures then. We'll talk about that in the full forecast.
All right, thanks, Scott. Still ahead on DC News Now at 9, a music education program in the DMV is providing more than just melody for young people. Plus, why family members are speaking out about a private prison in Virginia that has been on lockdown for more than a month. We'll be right back.